Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going? In today's live stream, we're going to be going over a towel shrinking technique that's going to help you with your back window shrinks if that's something that's a little bit more on the harder side for you. And then as always, we're going to be going over some Q&A at the end as well. So stay tuned and it's all coming up. What is going on, guys? Patrick here, and welcome to Window Tinting Business, where we strive to inform, inspire, and improve you as a professional. As always, if you guys are interested in window tinting as a side job to improve your current skills or as a full-on career, start right now by subscribing to the channel here. Just click the box in the bottom left-hand corner, and that'll send you right over there. Hit the bell notification if you want to be notified whenever I go live or whenever I update or upload actually a new video as well. Now with that out of the way, like I said, today we're going to be talking a little bit about a a towel method shrink. It's a process that I've been going over for the last few months. I've been trying to figure out a way to make it easier for people that are either brand new or just getting into the industry, to make it easier to be able to shrink back windows without the aggravation of crease in windows because of hard cards, and other more aggressive methods that need more seasoned skills and hands, I guess you could say. But I just want to say what's up to everyone in the chat here. Franklin Love, Alex, we got Julian over there. What's up? And then Jake Graham. We all welcome to the live stream. And looks like we have some people lining in here, so this is good. I did some initial reviews here, so if you guys hear anything wrong with the audio, with the video, or if anything like that, please let me know in the comments. I'm keeping it up now because last time it was a nightmare. I didn't put it up, and the audio was completely bad. So yeah, for those of you guys who are here on the weekly, like Julian, thanks again. I do apologize. I was not here last week for a live stream. I was helping out my sister-in-law move, and I was putting furniture together and stuff, and it took most of the evening. I thought I'd be able to get back here on time, but unfortunately it was not the case. So life happens from time to time. So yeah, and I just want to let you guys know as well, Super Chat is activated. If you guys don't know what Super Chat is, it's a way for you guys to help support the channel, and it's all appreciated, of course. Don't worry, Lester was worried. Don't worry, it's very hard to get rid of me. So let's check out some stuff here. Quick side note in my life, by the way, my Keurig machine just like dumped on me. Like, I've had it for like 6 or 7 years though. So, but like I tried to get a full cup of coffee today just for the live stream. This is all I got, and it's like super concentrated. It's almost like an espresso, really. I put some cream and sugar in it, but unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to be needing a new coffee machine coming up. So, I didn't realize how old it was, and apparently they have some new Keurig machines that like can make like iced coffee too and hot coffee. Oh, hello, Julian, starting it off. £3 donation. Definitely appreciate that super chat, Julian. Always good to see you every week. Yep, Franklin Love. Yep, got that coffee. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let us move on here. Let me see here. Like I said, if you guys aren't part of this, I did release this video to the Facebook group. If you guys aren't part of the Facebook group, Window Tinting Business, we have about I don't know how many people we have in there. I think it's about 2,500 members or so, a little bit more, and always adding on to it. So sometimes I do some sneak peek videos on the group as well, so make sure to join that as well. But let's go ahead, and I was talking about let's see here. We're going to be going over a video today, so let's go ahead and move over to my screen here. Just going to adjust some stuff, make sure that we have everything here. All right, let's bring this over. Oh. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be a towel shrink. I'm going to try to put the volume up a little bit higher so you guys can hear it. I'll monitor that here. So this video is about 7 minutes long. I'm just going to go ahead and play the audio. Stay back here. I'll be right here, but we'll go ahead and play back here the video. This video, like I said again, it's going to be if you're having trouble with dry shrinking back windows, if you're having trouble creasing back windows. Someone always told me, a good friend told me once, to try a Mac Tack, which is a little bit softer than a hard card. But even with a Mac Tack, when I was first starting, like doing back windows and shrinking back windows is very, very frustrating. And it's almost so frustrating to the point that you want to almost quit. So, I mean, and that's definitely not what you want to do. So, so I devised this process so it's going to be a little bit easier for you. So I'll be chatting in the chats as well, keeping an eye on the chat as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and move it here. Bam, we got that up here. And let me see. Let's go ahead and play. All right, so I've been talking about a newer, easier way to shrink back windows, especially for you new cats that are just getting into the industry. Shrinking back windows is definitely the hardest part of the gig. Installation is a little bit more difficult, but not as hard as shrinking, because it's frustrating, because if you mess up, you got to start over, no matter what step you're at. So I'm going to show you a better way. Some people use like a smart card or some sort of hard card, but you have to know what you're doing to use these type of cards. This card is actually a little bit more forgiving than this card here, but these are the easiest way to crease film. And then you can also use a Mac Tack, which is a little bit softer than these cards, which is a good option as well. But sometimes you can even crease this with this as well. So if you're brand new and you're still creasing windows, I'm going to show you an awesome trick that you can do to shrink fingers with minimal damage, like creasing and things of that nature. Now, if you're just a beast and all thumbs, then this might not be beneficial, but I think you can. Just take a regular shop rag. Take some tint off there. And I just fold it up. I'll fold it up once, twice, 3 times. So now it's just basically the size of my hand. That's pretty much it. And I'm going to show you, this is what we're going to use to shrink and do the initial shrink, and then we're going to go over a second pass with a harder card. But this is going to help you not crease the back window. Not crease the back window. So I have my standard Wagner heat gun set on high, 1100 degrees. Put the cord behind me so I don't have the cord scratching up against the car. I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to work the bottom section first. But watch how I do this. As I put the heat in, I'm just going to put the heat in. And as I start to see it start to go wavy, notice that I'm just going in circles. I'm not going up and down, I'm just going in circles. This is going to help stretch and lay the film down. And I'm light. Notice on my fingers, I'm not like smashing it down, light. Just the tips of my fingers, just guiding the film. And the key to this is that you just don't want to put too much heat in one particular area for too long. Hit it with the heat, watch it wiggle, and once it wiggles, you're ready to kind of push it down and lay it down. And that's pretty much it for that. So then from here, at this point, you can take a Mac Tack, you can take a hard card, a smart card, whatever you want. You're just going to pull straight down. Notice that I'm pulling, I'm not pushing. Don't be aggressive and push. Okay, you can do it at the very end. That's what I do at the very end. But from the beginning, when you just get started, go ahead and just pull. Notice that. Look at all that. And at the end, you can just push. Now, right at the end, it may not be laid down all the way because you just did a pretty good solid one here. So turn your heat gun back on. And you're just going to push. the very ends. You know, just get those little guys, those little fingers that are just not quite shrunk just yet. But those are very small and more manageable fingers to deal with versus these big ones. Same thing at top. I'm gonna do a whole video on this because I've never seen anyone shrink this in this type of manner. And just go up and down, up with the grain of the film. And I think if people learn this method, when they're learning, they're gonna not mess up as many windows. They won't be as frustrated. The rag is just super soft, so it's not hard enough to bend the film and lay the film. Look how easy that is. Now this time with a smart card, I'm just gonna go straight up with it. Pulling, pulling, pulling. When you get better and you get more used to it, then you can push, because then you know where to keep the card flat and how to do it. But until you get to that point, pull. You're gonna pull until the very end, then you can push at the end, because you're gonna need to give it a little bit more shrinking at the very end just to button everything up. Just like that, this half is done. And this rag method, super easy. I've never seen anyone do it. And look, I'm just doing light fingers, just laying it down nice and easy. But I mean, it's almost impossible to crease a back window using this method here. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Look how easy that is. Let's do a third card. This is a hard card, a harder card. Pulling, 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 pulling. Not pushing, but pulling. Then at the very end, turn it over, push. It's a lot easier to shrink a small finger than large fingers. Is that it? Just like I said, it doesn't get any easier than that. Notice that I'm pushing here. If you're gonna push and you think you're ready for pushing, instead of pulling, just make sure that card stays flat. Flat, flat, flat. The reason why people get creases most of the time is because they'll let that card lift a little bit and push back down, and then they end up bending the film that way. Just like that, back window shrunk. But yeah, those of you guys that are having trouble with your back window shrinks, or you're brand new, you're still, within your first 100 to 1,000 cars, back windows are tough. They're definitely tough. They get easier, trust me. But try the towel method. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
All right, guys, and we are back. Like I said, I hope that was helpful. Let me see here. I'm going to go back over to our normal screen. There we go. So yeah, that was something a little bit different. Every now and then I do go live on YouTube with the with like shrinking or with tinting an actual vehicle and whatnot, but sometimes it's just like a long drawn out, like I'm going to do this full back windshield or this full car. So being able to go ahead and chop down some of the highlights of some of those live streams is always good, and I think it's definitely going to be beneficial, helpful to everybody, especially people that I'm trying to help everyone versus just for people that are just getting into the industry and people that have been in the industry, to people that are already tinting, and I just want to help maybe turn a 3-hour tinter into an hour and a half tinter, something of that nature. Always being beneficial. That's obviously my goal. So yeah, let's check out what we have here in the Q&A section here. Let me go ahead and change that up here. Let's see. Someone did have a question up here about an 18 Camry. Mike Cardoso. Help. He says, trying to shrink an 18 Camry. I guess he's on there right now and he can't. He's having some trouble. Mike, if you are watching an 18 Camry, it looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. For you guys that don't know, with the 18 Camry, let me see if I can pop up another one here. I don't even know if we can 2018 Camry. Let's do. There we go. Give me a moment here. I'm just trying to pull it up so that everyone can see here. 2018 Camry. Images. There we go. So let's go back over here. With the 18 Camry, they have a brand new model. It's basically the same, a little bit of changes here and there. But what he's having trouble is because on the back window, let me see if I can find a back window picture. I don't know if this is going to be helpful. It's going to be kind of helpful. Oh. So right here, usually the full back window is pretty flat, but right at the ends, they taper off right here. So they actually start to curve. No, I don't need that. So that's what's going on with the Camry. I thought it'd be a bigger problem, but I found out that it's actually not that bad, Mike. Just lay down your H pattern. You're going to have a little bit more of a finger just on the two sides, the two top sides, the two bottom sides. So what I try to do is try to shrink the middle. Start in the middle. Don't start at the end. Start in the middle. Try to shrink and try to bring some of that excess film inward. Then that should theoretically shrink the film down on the ends, and then and just go ahead and lay it down. But it looks worse than it actually is. So don't be too intimidated. Things are going to be just fine. Trust me. Let me go ahead and get my questions back up here. Oh, Mike, you're on your third try. If anything, also, make sure you're not wet shrinking. Try to dry shrink. I never suggest a wet shrink, not even to vets. Some people like it because it sticks. It's a little bit faster, but I don't suggest a wet shrink. I almost never suggest a wet shrink just because it puts too much tension on the film when you are shrinking. Like you're aggressively shrinking some sections and not others. So get a dryer sheet or get a bar of soap and get it all over the back window. Give it some time to dry fully, and then put the film down. Use your H pattern. Shrink from there. If you are wet shrinking, try dry shrinking. It should help and fix the problem. Dry shrinking. Okay. Yeah, and you can always try the towel method that you just saw in the video that we did as well. It's going to put not so much pressure onto the film, not as much as like a hard card or a Mac Tack would put, and that's just an initial shrink, and then you go back over it with a hard card. That might help. So, yeah, let's see here.
Spray wax and a wet edge hard card. That's an interesting one. Let me see. Jake Graham had that one here. Spray edge and a wet card. Not bad. I'll try that. I'll have to try that for sure. Ooh, it is getting warm. Open my door a little bit here. So it looks like we have almost about 20 people, 17 people in the live stream. Excuse me, trying to get comfortable here. Yeah, like I said, now is a good time. If you guys had any other questions, concerns, shout outs, criticisms, any things you guys wanted to check out, now is a good time to go ahead and do so. And we'll just hang out for a little bit. And if it all dries up, then I guess we'll just go ahead and shut her down for the evening. Let me throw him. I had some background music playing. This might just drop everything. Wow. It's extremely loud. There you go, a little background music back for everyone. Let's see. Lester asked, when you double cut your pattern, can you also double shrink, or do you have to shrink windows individually? Yeah, actually, I have double cut windows, and I have double shrunk windows as well. And it works either way that you want to do it. Some people think that a better shrink is if you do it individually and double snap it. But I've done both, and they have worked both. So it just really just depends on what you feel comfortable with, and if you like doing it a little bit faster and getting through it a little bit quicker, then yeah, shrink both at the same time. Always a good one. Always a good one. The quarter windows on a 2015 Fusion, much of a problem, Jeff said. Redmond. There are 4. Yes, there's 2 fronts, 2 backs. For the back ones are usually not a problem. The front ones, it is tight. So usually I tell people to cut at least 1/8 of an inch bigger. And they're even tight for plotters. I typically use plotters versus hand cutting it. So if you are hand cutting, then just make sure you're so close. I'd probably say even closer, at least a 16th on those front quarter windows, and they should be good to go. You might need a little bit of trimming on the inside. They're a little bit tighter, but that's pretty much it. Not too bad. Julian asks, if I'm a top loader, do I need to shrink the downside? The answer is yes and no. If you are newer to tinting, then I would most definitely suggest to shrink if you're a top loader. Meaning that you don't pull panels, you don't pull seals. You load it from the top first, roll the window up, and then tuck the bottom. If you're doing that, I would suggest to shrink it first. You can install windows. I typically install windows without barely shrinking any windows, but it's more of a process in which you squeegee. Like most people will just squeegee across the top and then the 2 sides and then push everything down. Well, what happens is you build up fingers to the bottom when you do that. You're tightening everything to the sides and on the bottom and putting fingers right here. But if you can spread it out from the middle out when you're squeegeeing, then most of the time you don't have to shrink side windows. You know, obviously, if you're looking at coupes usually need shrinking, and there are some cars I can't think of it off the top of my head. But if I find fingers that keep popping up, and they won't lay down, then at that point I'll typically take a heat gun and then shrink the film then during the install. But that is definitely a more advanced method. If you, like I said, if you're new to the industry or if you're new to tinting, I would just take the extra steps to just shrink it, and that's easier than when a finger does pop up and you got to deal with that. So I hope that answered your question there. Justin Thomas, I'm a DIY guy. I tried Gilla, that worked great, but I'd like to try some better tints. Justin, just to let you know, tinting is not a DIY process. So if you did do well, good job. Maybe you wanna think about being a tinter. Let's see. I think my phone is going off. Oh, let's see here. There are some companies that will sell pre-cut kits, and you just gotta like kind of do your research in regards to what manufacturer, what film they're using, and kind of go from there. But I would check with pre-cut kits that you can find online, and that uses a name brand film. As a DIY guy, you wouldn't know any of the name brand stuff. But Lumar, 3M, Matico. I mean, there's just a number of different films. Good. Better than Gilla, I'll tell you that much. And it has wing windows. Are those difficult? Are you talking about the front quarters that kind of just like pop open? If that's what you're talking about, then yes, those are difficult. Those are difficult to hand cut because you got to cut so close, and then you typically have to cut around like the hardware for the window. That's a difficult one. I don't even think I have a video or a training video for that, but I'm sure if you look online, if you YouTube it, I'm sure there's someone that has like a quarter window video for that. That's a very difficult one for sure. Let's see. Okay. Servando, is it a good idea to have two different dyed films, one cheaper than the other, just for people that don't like to pay for good film? And what do you tell the customer when they are both dyed? I would. I see. Here's the thing. I would keep better high-end films. I wouldn't keep a number of low-end films. But that's me personally. It really just depends on what kind of shop you run. For me, like when I do my side jobs and I book a car, I don't like doing tints. I don't like tinting a car for less than $180 or so. $180, $200. That's my lowest. I might do it for like $150 for like a good friend, but that's me personally, and that's how I feel that my quality of installation and how I do things, it deserves a premium price and a higher price. I would never tint a car for like $100 or something like that. And this really just depends on what you want and how low are you willing to sell your work for. Because for the majority of the part, film is affordable. Most people are paying, majority of it is going to be the labor. So if you're willing to go bring your price down low, or lower to make a sale, then that's fine to have two different types of dyed films. And when someone asks, you just let them know. I would never use the word cheap or cheaper. I don't use the word cheap. I don't like it. It sounds horrible. But instead, use the phrase like, this is an affordable option. See, it's not cheap, it's affordable. And then that's it. You just tell them one's a better known brand or one's a more affordable brand to better cover everyone's budget. That's pretty much it. That's how I would go after that. Just right asks, how much shampoo do you use per gallon of water? I usually use a 2.5 gallon
spray tank, and I use about 1/3 of a large bottle, whichever that is. I've never really been too precise on my bottles, except for like everything else in my life, in my industry life. I'm very precise, but not this one. I just 3 big gulps. Before, when I was in using a spray bottle, I think it was like a 34 ounce or 35 ounce spray bottle, a Spray Master, one of the gray ones. I think I was doing like a 3 to 4 second squeeze. I'd give it a rough estimate, but spray slip solution is a little bit different for everyone, because what's slippery enough for me may not be enough for you. And what it might be too tacky, it might be not slippery enough. A good rule of thumb is that you want to use just use a consistent amount. So if you know you're squeezing the bottle, the same size bottle, and you're squeezing it for about 4 seconds, maybe next time squeeze it for 3 seconds, and go lower and bring it down lower until you notice that the film is just too sticky. And then when it's just too sticky, bring it up a little bit in the soap, and then you have found your perfect slip solution for you that works for you. And that's going to be the best method on that. Question here: have you ever tinted anything else other than cars, like glasses, mirrors, etc.? Never mirrors, just because that's kind of like I don't think there's a purpose or a reason. Why would you tint, like especially a darker shaded tint on mirrors? It defeats the purpose of having a mirror. So I've never done that. And glasses, no, just because, if I needed tinted glasses, I just buy sunglasses. So, and I wouldn't do it like as a business venture because there's just not enough money in it. But yeah, that's how I would cover that. Ba, 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 ba. I hope the background music isn't too loud or too. I think I'm gonna switch it up. I've been using the same background music for a bit now. 20 people in the live stream. Welcome to the live stream if you guys are just joining us. Again, my name is Patrick, and this is Window Tinting Business, where we strive to inform, inspire, and improve you as a professional. We are here doing our Tuesday night live stream. We typically go over some sort of topics, or I speak with people, do other little things, and then we kind of go over a Q&A at the end. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not a subscriber, make sure to subscribe. Hit the blue box in the bottom right-hand corner for you, it should be. And if you guys want to know when I'm live or when I update videos or upload videos, make sure to hit the bell notification to be up to date on that. Let's see, got a couple more questions here. 1718 Ford Explorer quarter windows. Yes, those are pretty difficult. I've been learning them. They are a little bit difficult. They don't give you a lot of room in regards to the dot matrix or the black ceramic. So my only suggestion is to use a light, maybe open the door and shine a light through there so you can see through it when you're cutting the film, and cut the film very, very close. If you're using a film that's too dark and you just can't see the borders, then the other suggestion I guess you can do is take a piece of liner and outline it with like a Sharpie, like a gray Sharpie, just to outline where your path is going to be. Cut that out and then use that as a template on your tint. But typically I just cut on the car and I just take a big enough and bright enough light to be able to see the pattern so I can cut it out. And just stay very, very close. Almost exact. Patrick, if you tint a mirror, you can have an infinite mirror effect. What? All right, we're going to have to look at this. Julian, thanks for that. Let us take a look. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to set this up first before I just start throwing things up here. No thanks. All right, tint on mirror. Let's check this out. No, mirror. That's mirror tint.
I think I know what you're talking about. This is what you're talking about, right? Something like this? Let's see. I don't know how. I don't know how this is done. This might be it. Servano, yes. Yeah. Stick with one tint. Stick with one dyed tint. Why not? Why not? I find your the lowest amount of money you want to make and just keep it that way. Everyone has their target clientele. You know, people that buy Hondas don't go into the Rolls Royce or the Ferrari dealerships, and vice versa. People that buy Ferraris don't really typically want to go look for Honda cars. So, I mean, there's always a market. It just depends on who you want to go after and what you want to do with that. So, good luck, sir, or ma'am. Servando. I think it's a guy. Pretty sure it's a guy. Infinite mirror effect. Yeah, I searched. Look, this is it, Julian. I think this is it. I've never actually tried this, so now I'm gonna have to try it. But see, I don't have a light. Maybe I have to put a light, like a light box. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a look at this and see how this is done. But yeah. And I think I'm in trouble. I think the wifey's yelling at me. Awesome. Awesome. When you're a parent, it's always, being a parent's like a messy thing. Apparently one of my kids just made a huge mess. So, awesome. Fun. Don't worry about that, Julian. Don't worry about that. All right. Let's see here. On the plus side, I think I finally figure out how to get get people in on the chat, so I can finally do like an interview style chat. I'll give you guys a sneak peek here. So I wanted to go side by side what you see like right here, right now, like my half, and then like that half would be like the person I'd be interviewing, but it's not really working out so well. So what I just basically did is I zoomed in a little bit more, and then now I have like this thing. So I'm going to put like a Skype call right here, and then just like use this whole screen just to Skype so that we can interview people and kind of still see them as well. So that's what's going to be happening with that. But let's go back to the Q&A here. If you guys had any questions or any people that you wanted to kind of bring on, or might I might just bring some of my industry friends on here. Just kind of let's talk a little bit about tint and whatnot. Jake Graham asks, how's the garage coming along? The garage is coming along really well. I've done one video about it, and I'm chopping it up together right now. Next step, it was just basically an intro to the garage and what it looked like raw. But I did get price boards up. I did get display boards up. And I have a little work area in the back. And I think this Sunday I'll be building out and framing out for a peel board, which I'll be doing a video on that for sure. But yeah, the garage is going along very well. I'll give it a more detailed video coming soon. I know I always say that, but I'm really working on doing this a lot better. It's been a hard transition going from like an iPhone to like a full-on like DSLR camera and like a full production thing. But because I'm just a simple tinner, but I want to do this also, so that's what's going on. A starter kit, I haven't put something like that together. A merchandise store is something that I've been thinking about doing. merchandise and tools and accessories and different things, tint accessories and stuff like that. I have been thinking about doing that, but not yet. That's nothing that I have just yet. But a buddy of mine runs a great website, filmslingers.com. Go ahead and check them out. Let's see if we can't do that actually here. Film sling. Oh, there's slingers.com. Filmslingers.com. Window tint tools and supplies. This is a really good one right here. You can go ahead and see there's a place where you can get dirty pouches. You can get the original soak shields, some dash towels. Looks like I did a smooth it video. If you guys are interested in something like that, those are really great for the tri-edge cards. Been in love with the tri-edge cards here. Also spray bottles, Fusion All Type. It's a type of mounting solution. I think they just came out with an adhesive remover. I know they came out with an adhesive remover. But it looks like we got some spray nozzles, different things of this nature, and some tanks as well. So check them out, filmslingers.com. They should have everything that you need. And if not, just go ahead and message them and tell them what you need and see if they can't get it in there for you. But yeah. Let's see. Just Ride. How do you get dust out of your installations out after installation? Is it possible? It's very, very difficult. One thing that you can do, most of the time when you see dust and particles and contamination is going to be at the very bottom of the window after you roll the window up when you top load. So to prevent that, it's always preventative first. To prevent that, make sure you flush it out really well. When you roll the window up, don't let the film touch the glass yet, but pull the film back a little bit. Spray that area that was underneath the windowsill. Get a small squeegee across it, then wet it, then try to lay the film down. That should prevent any film. What's happening most of the time is that there was some trapped dirt or dust or contamination on the window, like on the weather seal, and then when you roll the window up, that trash comes up with it. It is what it is. But to get it out is typically a little bit more difficult because you got to pull a corner back, and then you got to spray, and then you got to kind of rub, whether it's on the glass or it's on the window. The film, and you got to rub enough to pull it off, but not enough to damage or upset the adhesive, or else the install doesn't look very good. That is a harder thing to do than just squeegeeing the window from the very beginning. That's a little bit easier. So that'll help you out there. Yeah, some merch. Some merch is what I've been looking at. I've been actually thinking about doing a number of different things because I want to expand a little bit more just outside of window tinting. I still want to stay within the automotive aftermarket industry type-esque, but there's custom small decals, there's like emblem blackouts, there's vinyl wrapping, there's PPF, spray and bed liners. I want to be able to spread out a little bit more within the window tinting. So also too, the channel name might change to my name instead of window tinting business. Window tinting business will still be around. It'll still be a big section within the channel, but it's going to help me be able to spread out a little bit more. But yeah, definitely thinking about doing some merch, some caps, some mugs, some t-shirts. But like I said, it just takes a little bit of time, and I want to make sure I set it up right. I don't want like cheap junk going out there. If you guys are going to be spending your hard-earned money to purchase some merchandise to help support the channel, I want to make sure that you're getting some good quality stuff. So maybe within the next few months, I can get something like that together. I'll let you guys know as well. But yeah. That's pretty much what I got going on now. What do I use to match 2001 300 RX Lexus back window tint? The mirror factory stuff. So here's the problem. Back in the day, in like the 90s, they used mirror tint. It's hard to
replicate that type of factory tint, because it is now mostly illegal in most states to have a reflection level above a certain amount. So to be able to get something like that, it's gonna be very difficult. Even if they make, I don't even think they make it. So I would, I don't know. I can't give you a good answer because I don't know a particular film. You could try different type of more reflective films, but then there's like bronze reflective. Like a bronze reflective film might help, like a lighter, probably like a 45. I don't know. Like it's gotta be light. It's gotta be dark. It's gotta be at least 20. It's gotta be 30 to 40. And a bronze reflective, if you can find it, good luck. Sana sana kukarana, because they just don't make it anymore. And it's illegal. So let's check here. Let's see some of the Q&A stuff here. Alex Towers TV. I like that. Oi. Oi. Ba ba. What else? Let's see what's going on. All right, guys, we're wrapping up right around 50 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for this evening. For those of you guys that just joined us, thank you very much once again. It's always my pleasure to be doing these with you. I really do enjoy doing this stuff, trying to help you guys out. Again, Patrick here at Window Tinting Business. Soon to be a different channel, maybe. I'm going to change the name. I know I am. But don't forget, it's going to be the same me. It's just going to be a different name, be a more broader name. But yeah, again, my live streams every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Torres in Spanish. Oh, Alex Torres. There you go. Yes. So yeah, save your questions, save your Q&As for next week as well. And again, if you're not part of the Window Tinting Business group on Facebook, go ahead and join up. We got some really great people, large community growing, people that are helping out, very positive community. I try to monitor it myself. So that like I try to boot out any like negative Nancy's and whatnot, because we don't need that stuff. We're about positivity, and we're trying to succeed, make a business, be profitable, be awesome. That's what we need to be. Jake Graham, happy tinting to you as well. Thanks again, guys. It's been a pleasure, and we'll talk next week. Have a good one.